Hey, what's going on everybody? It's the Stock Estate here. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top 3 swing trade stocks for this coming week. But before we jump into that, I have some interesting news here and there which I'd like to share my thoughts about, so just stay with me for a little bit. First, okay, you know that Mark Cuban has been making the news for a little bit because of his investment in a crypto coin that has went to almost zero, which a lot of people after seeing his kind of post have jumped into the hype, only later for it to crash to almost nothing. So that coin was a he didn't really do much research in his asset by his post itself, and after the day that Cuban's post kind of went live, it was trading, the coin is Titan, right? It was trading at $29, right? Then suddenly the whole market was flooded with buyers buying the token, and in 3 days it skyrocketed to $65, which is an insane amount. And it went up to 2x a lot of people's money. But at one point, a lot of the coin starts going in, right? And as well as a lot of investors start buying into this coin, and the price went to unreasonable levels, and there come the sharp sell-off. And on 16 June, right, the Titan has dropped to 0.00024 cents. That means it's almost nothing, right? And it became nearly worthless. So why am I telling you guys all this, right? Isn't this video about a swing trade? Okay, so let me just talk to you a little bit more about doing your own due diligence, and as well as not being too greedy and kind of controlling your emotions, and be the guy which actually sees the bigger picture in the entire stock market. Okay, you do not want to be the herd. Okay, you don't want to be part of the herd mentality. You want to be the guy who identify that there is a herd mentality and be the guy who takes advantage of this kind of psychology of the human beings that are actually playing in the markets. So firstly, okay, there's a difference between investing and trading. So investing, right, you must do your due diligence, right? If that coin, or if I'm not a very big expert in crypto, many of you know that I'm not expert in that. I just read out the news from time to time. My expertise is in the stock market itself. But I would say that cryptocurrencies probably have their own kind of fundamental analysis as well. Each coin have definitely, some are more worth than others, some are just total scams. So again, if you are investing in something, right, you definitely have to treat it as an investment and do your own due diligence, because you want to hold for the long term. Okay, you have to do so much due diligence that you have very, very high confidence in the company. And with that, right, doing your own due diligence doesn't mean just researching everything that's there, all the information that's there on the market. Okay, if that entire coin or the entire company or whatever it is, right, doesn't release enough information and kind of just tells you a dream, right, then there's not enough information to do your due diligence on, and those companies most of the time are out of the question. Okay, and if you really do want to support that company or for whatever reason, right, please position size, very, very small position size for those. Okay, so for me myself, if I really want to do this kind of super speculative investments, right, less than 0.5% of my entire portfolio. Right? Don't play this kind of big money that you want to use for your retirement or whatever. So that's investing. Trading. Okay, so again, how can we trade this? So you can actually use this as a trading technique. So again, I actually mentioned this before. This is I would say a kind of momentum stock or momentum coin. Okay, in terms of the stock market, I'll call this a momentum stock. And I actually talked about momentum trades, momentum stocks in my newsletter on Substack. So again, if you want to check that out, go to the link in the description below. I have a link there to my newsletter, which I post blogs as well as my thoughts from time to time that I do not have the time to make an actual video about. So go and follow me there. It's free. And thank you very much for supporting the channel. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and let's get on to the video. So trading, right? Trading was again, you want to have a stop loss. So again, if you have got in maybe at $29 or whatever, right, then it skyrocketed to $65, you have to put your stop losses in, maybe at $60 or whatever. Okay, I don't know the charts of this coin itself. So again, when it starts selling off, right, you're unemotional, you will get stopped out with a profit. You don't just hold and hope, okay, when it is a trade. Don't hold and hope. So again, holding and hoping only is for long-term investments, and in long-term investments, it's not really holding and hoping, it's more holding and waiting for your investment thesis to come true. Okay, so that's it for my opinion on this entire saga over here. So again, please learn from the lessons of many that have been suffering this kind of massive losses, because you do not want to be the person who learns it firsthand, right? Learn from other people's mistake, and then become a better investor or trader. So I hope you guys don't be an idiot, don't be that guy, okay? And really do your due diligence, identify whether it's a trade or investment, and act accordingly. So with that said, all right, let's jump into the top 3 swing trade stocks for this coming week. So last week's market was pretty red itself. The entire market was pretty heavily down. Okay, you can see that Dow Industrials just died. Nasdaq, okay, was holding strong over there. NYSE, in a sense, was died as well. Large caps, S&P, huge retracement back to the 200 moving average, and a lot of the other sectors, right? You can look at the sector plays, right? All took a breather. Okay, so last week I kind of mentioned that everything is trading at all-time high, so it's either going to pull back massively, right, or it's going to consolidate a little bit more and break to the upside. So again, you got to be prepared and set your stop losses and be a little bit more careful when you're trading on this kind of breaking point week. So again, last week was a breaking point week where the overall market indices had to decide whether they want to head up higher or they want to retrace a little bit more before heading higher, right? So this will definitely affect the swing trade. So again, if the market's in this kind of breaking points, the trades you want to take, you must be more cautious and not just jump into it, because the overall market can actually affect a very good trade otherwise. So let's talk about the top 3 swing trade stocks for this week. The first company I'm going to talk about is actually MSTR. Okay, MicroStrategy Incorporated. All right, so let me just jump through the LATE format with all of you guys, right? So LATE format is a format that I definitely use most of the time to do my swing trades, and LATE stands for late, right? And this is what I do every single time, is my trade plan, and I use this more often than not to formulate my trade plan and go into it with a clear strategy in mind. Okay, so L is long-term trend, A is area of value, T is trigger to enter, as well as E is exit strategy. So again, those who are new here, right, okay, you can just subscribe to the channel, and as well as screenshot this, you can use it for your own trade plan itself. So the first company I'm going to talk about, I'm going to use this format and kind of apply it for you to see. And the next 2 companies I'm just going to briefly glance through so that you can do your own homework, and as well as apply your trading plan to that companies yourself. Because after all, this channel, I want you to nurture all of you to become an independent swing trader and not be dependent on anyone else in the future. So MicroStrategy, first company, right? Let's talk about this. Okay, so while the entire market was like dying, right? Okay, this company was actually having a green day on Friday, so which was quite insane, because you can see over here, Russell was down 2%, Nasdaq down 1%, Dow down 1.5%, S&P down over 1%. So if the entire market is down over 1%, okay, individual stocks will be down over 5%. Okay, there'll be companies who are down 5%, okay, 6%, definitely. Right, those companies which trade at a high multiple or are more volatile compared to the market conditions. So MSTR, right, you can see that right now, okay, it has been on a downtrend, right, for quite some time. But right now, it has been going on a downtrend and it has reversed. So 1 day time frame wise, right, let's take a look at what we have over here. Okay, let me just cancel out all these. Okay, so these are some of the indicators that I use to, find my swing trade stocks. So, but again, to answer some of the questions, right, one of my subscribers asked me, do I use MACD, do I use RSI, right? So again, I don't really use those for swing trades itself, because again, I find it to be a little bit inaccurate at times. It's not it only helps some of the time, and it really does not really matter, because it only helps me to tweak maybe a few ticks of profit. So again, as swing trades, you want to take the big profits, right? And the MACD sometimes, it adds too much analysis that leads me to have analysis paralysis. That means I'm like, I want it for the perfect time to enter, right? But however, the perfect time to enter sometimes is the perfect time, but the MACD says no, there I didn't enter, right? Then the trade goes on to rally on higher. Okay, so again, sometimes these extra indicators sometimes paralyze me in making the actual trades. So I want to keep it simple and just look at the price movement itself. So price movement wise, let's take a look at this. Okay, it's on a overall downtrend right now. Okay, overall downtrend. So again, if we're taking a counter trend trade, we got to be extra careful. And let's draw a little bit any support or resistance that we can see over here. Oh, okay, so we can see that there's a major touch point over here, right? That is a major resistance level over here. So look at this. Okay, so around the $663 is a very strong resistance area, support and resistance area that's coming. Again, this company is again driving up to this resistance area and waiting to break to the upside. So this is one line that we have to really keep a lookout on, whether we want to take our trade or not. So let's drop into the lower time frame, which is the 1 hour time frame. And area of value, let's take a look about area of value, where we want to buy in. So this is where I jump into my 1 hour time frame, where I can see a little bit more details in the price movement, and as well as I am able to buy in at the area of value, so that my risk to reward is at a very reasonable level. So we can take a look at this major line over here, right? It's at 661. Okay, you can see that this is actually slowly creeping up to test this resistance area. So what I want to see is, okay, this company slowly, okay, next Monday open, right, comes up to 664 over here. And you can see that after that massive rally up to $554, right, or $600, it has been consolidating, and there's a lot of bull bears trying to push this price down, but they are unable to, and this company is actually slowly consolidating and going even higher. So we can see that the next line over here, right, is actually around here. Okay, so this area over here, right? Okay, see, let's measure a lot of touch points over at this side. I mean, around $606, $607 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, every time it touches this line itself, it will kind of reverse back up again. So what I want to do is the area of value is definitely anywhere from around $606 to around, okay, the lows over here to around $626. So again, this anywhere here to here, right, I would say is personally for me myself, is a good buy into this stock itself. So anywhere, if it trades too far away, right, maybe Monday open, it kind of rally up to maybe, okay, for example, right, $690, right, then it doesn't really make sense for me to get in, because there's no really any point for me to get in, because the risk to reward is really out of the question, right? So you can see, take a look at this, right? This long wick candles, let me just show it to you, okay? So look at my circle, right? So long wick candles over here, long wick candles, long wick candles, long wick candles, long wick candles. So again, every time it touches this line over here, right, this support over here, it sharply bounces back immediately after. Even here, when the price kind of drops down, you can see that immediately, right, there's a green engulfing bar, green candle that, you know, kind of buys it back up again. And it happened here again as well. Right, so again, it's just consolidating in this area. There's a lot of bulls and bears are fighting here, and this actually presents us a very nice opportunity to take a swing trade. So let's take a look at the trigger to enter. So again, trigger to enter, I want to see on Monday, right? Okay, this company holding right above $633 around here goes on to rally a little bit higher, and Monday, hopefully, right? Okay, let's draw it out again. We want to see something like a bar over here, going up here, then after that it starts to consolidate a little bit. Okay, consolidate a little bit. Okay, maybe fighting near the top of the range over here. So again, I want to see it fight at the top of the range. Okay, near the $665 levels. Okay, so that the next area that it supports is actually this line over here. Let's draw it out for us, shall we? All right, so that the next support turn resistance is actually over here, right? So this is area $637, right, is where, no, this was a previous resistance, then it breaks out, right? Then we are able to set a reasonable stop loss for us. So let's talk about this exit strategy, okay? Where you want to enter, where you want to exit out of this trade. So we want to enter again somewhere around, okay, if it dips down over here, here is an area of value, right? So again, if it dips down to around this level over here, if it dips down to the lows of $608, right, it is an area of value to buy, because again, it is known to, you know, trade in this range. So right now it's breaking out a little bit. It could be a false breakout and it goes back down again, and you can actually buy near the area of value over here. But assuming Monday open, right, the scenario 2, okay, it goes up higher all the way here. Okay, all the way here, it starts to consolidate near the top. Then the area of value, right, is around this area over here, near the range over here, near this area. All right, near this area over here, which is around $642, $635 to $642 in that range. So if we are able to buy in at this range, right, okay, then we can set our stop loss right here. Okay, let me just bring up my doodle. Okay, we can set our stop loss right here. Okay, you can set a stop loss right here. Okay, right below this support level over here, so that it does not touch, you know, it's not too tight, but it's tight enough so that our risk to reward is a pretty good risk to reward. So again, maybe around $623 to $616 is a good stop loss to have. Whereas, okay, it consolidates, we can buy somewhere around here, around this range itself, and when it breaks, it can break up to the further upside to maybe, let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame so that we can see what are the profit margins that we can expect to make from this trade. So again, if it breaks out, you can see everything that happened was just a little blip right here, right? So again, if it managed to break out, okay, the next area that we can see that maybe there's a lot of major resistance coming in is actually at $787 level, where there's a lot of people who are willing to, you know, come here and start to sell off their stocks. Those people who are holding wants to sell off at this range. So again, that is a pretty good around 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio right there. Okay, that's a decent risk to reward ratio, and I think that this is a pretty good a trade that I would personally take if the momentum goes strong, okay, next Monday. So you can see the next resistance area is over here. Okay, next resistance area is over here. Okay, where there's a lot of touch points over here, right at this area. So again, this area is an area for us to take profit, and if you want to ride the rest up to even higher, then you can set a trailing stop loss to ride the next half of your shares to the next profit taking area. So again, that is for MSTR, and that I explained quite in depth how I use LATE format to kind of envision all the different kinds of scenario that could happen on Monday, and what are the areas of value that I could get into. Because for this stock, there's actually two areas of values. It's quite interesting, right? So it's an interesting company because there is a scenario one where it goes back to the range, or scenario two where it trades near the top of the range, and that's the area of value that I want to take at. So MSTR, that's how I've applied it, and I wish that you start to learn how to use LATE format, and as well as use this format to apply for any other trades. Okay, you might not trade my companies or my stocks, right? You can use it for any other stocks that you want to trade as well, because again, risk management, as long as you have an edge in the markets, right, you are picking decent setups to trade. Okay, the company itself doesn't really matter. Okay, I would say it matters, but again, it is about training your risk management skills, right, and using your edge, using your risk to reward ratio, and playing it out over many companies, and over time that edge will compound, and you will actually make a lot of money, from this kind of trading itself, and that's how you become successful as a swing trader. All right, next company we're going to talk about is actually Jumia. Okay, Jumia, JMIA, right? Jumia has been talked about in my last week's video, and this week is actually a prime candidate for the swing trade stocks for this week, because last week it was fighting to break out to the further upside after I said that it was reversing, right? But again, the overall market conditions dragged it back down. So again, what did I say about that last week being a turning point week? See, the overall market trend really can take an effect on the individual companies itself. Well, you can see over here, right? There's a lot of annotations over here, which is a little bit ugly, so I'm just going to clear all of them. So basically last week, right, I can see that it was in a downtrend, then it hit somewhere of a low over here, $23, and it starts to consolidate and go higher and higher. But again, when it hit around here, right, there was a market sell-off, and it sold off a little bit down to this upside over here. So again, it's reaching this entire resistance or support over here at $27. Okay, so again, $27, if it breaks to the further downside, right, it could test $23 again. But again, if it holds this, right, it becomes an inverse head and shoulders, which is this is the left shoulder, this is the head, this is the right shoulder, right? So this is where it might break to the further upside, because there is a change in trend. So next week, if the entire market starts to recover, indices are green, I can really see this company, okay, recovering its upward trend and going to the further upside. So let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame. Alright, so 1 hour time frame, you can see that there is a lot of consolidation over here. There's a lot of resistance over here. So again, Monday, right, if it manages to hold above $28, right, and showing consolidation and moving upwards, right, I might actually buy near the area of value around here and set a stop loss, okay, right below. Okay, you can see this consolidation area over here. Okay, right below this consolidation area, maybe at $27, it will be a good stop loss area. Okay, to potentially take advantage of a new trend that Jumia might be taking to the further upside. And so that is JMIA for you guys. Next company we're going to talk about is actually FLGT. Again, I'm going to skim through this last company and this company very quickly, because I don't want this video to be too long for you guys. So again, feel free to skip here and there if you want to. So FLGT, right, you can see that FLGT had that really massive dump from $85 all the way down to lows. And right now it has been showing it was in downtrend, but now it's been reversing and slowly coming up to an uptrend, okay, spiking up massively to 79, then after that taking a dump back to the 20 moving average. So again, this company, I would say it respects this 20 moving average pretty strongly on the uptrend itself. So again, this company might show that is going back to its, I would say, this support, this resistance level around $86. It may have potential to rise from $76, $77 to go to back to $86 and test this potential break again, this potential area of resistance. Okay, and even this area is not the last chance as well. So again, if it manages to come over here, right, and it consolidates near the top, it may even break out and resume its further uptrend, because after all, you can see there's a lot of resistance over here. But again, if you manage to clear this, right, there's a lot of other profit-taking areas that you can take for FLGT. So again, FLGT, I'll say that it's a pretty good, candidate which if it holds above this 20 moving average, which is this yellow line over here, I would say that you can set a stop loss right below here, and you can actually write this to the further upside. Okay, $75 to $86, a $10 profit compared to a maybe $73 or $73 to $76, a $3 loss. So again, 1 to 3, 4 risk to reward ratio is pretty good as well. And also, if it manages to consolidate here, the profits could actually be even more. So that's it for the top 3 swing trade stocks for this coming week. And I hope you enjoyed these 3 companies that I've given to you guys. I know that this last week was a little bit choppy, but again, as a swing trader, you gotta be neutral, right? You gotta respect the markets, right? You gotta have your own will, you gotta have your own decisions, right? It's not just, you have to really read the market carefully and think about whether you want to execute the trade or not. So again, being too conservative and not executing any trade at all is a problem, okay? But again, being too rash and always jumping into trades, right? Just thinking that, Monday open, okay, let's go. Also another problem. So again, the beauty of being a swing trader is that's how you balance your emotions, as well as, balance out your greed, as well as keeping a clear head, right, and not being emotionally affected by anything. And honestly, I think that's a pretty good thing, that I apply to just general life as well, okay? Not always being swayed by emotion, and sometimes thinking clearly with a clear head, okay, and not thinking with the crowd, right? So that's it for this coming week's video. And now for my old subscribers and returning subscribers, right, let's go on to the update for last week's picks. For those people who are new here, right, I do this update every single week. So because I want to, go through with you guys, be accountable, go through with you guys the mistakes, lesson learned, as well as everything that we can learn together to become a greater swing trader together as a community. All right, so if you like my content, okay, subscribe, like the video, okay, and if you wish to watch this, okay, come along with me as well. So last week, right, okay, I talked about this as well. Last week was pretty red. So DQ, right, Monday open. Okay, so Monday open, right? Again, as I said last week's video, right? Okay, so look at the 1 month chart, right? I say I want to see some kind of rebound, right, from around 68 back to around $71, right, before taking a trade. Okay, I said it in last week's video. So again, you really gotta listen through all the way. You cannot just look at my company and just like just get the company itself. Okay, I really hope you guys actually listen through the entire video. Although I know it's a bit long, but that's why I post it during the weekend so that you have more time to listen through. So it didn't manage to hit around $71. Okay, so it shows a lot of resistance, right, breaking to the further upside, which means that since a counter trend trade, it might be going back down again. So I didn't take the trade, and again, Tuesday tanked again. No recovery, keep tanking. So again, looking at 1 month chart, right, or the 6 month chart, you can see that from here, $68, right, I was looking for a recovery or for the whales to buy in at 68, but it didn't. It just keeps dipping, right? So again, DQ, I didn't enter at all because there is showing a very weak trend or very weak sentiment in the entire market on DQ. So again, I think that DQ have a little bit more to go, and only when I see some kind of rebounds or a confirmation of a support level, then I'll buy into DQ. And so that's why I didn't really go into DQ as well. Because again, when the market was green, okay, DQ was actually red as well, which shows there's a lot of negative sentiment on the company. So we only want to buy after confirmation. So that's for DQ company. So next company, UTCC, right? UTCC was a very similar story as well. Okay, so UTCC basically, I want to see a sudden bounce to the further upside. And what happened was, okay, it went down a little bit, right? And I was like, the sentiment of it is really slowing down, and it's consolidating near the bottom at around this $56 range, right? So you look at the 6 month time frame, right? It is just consolidating near the bottom, and I was feeling a little bit uneasy, especially when the entire market is at a turning point, right? So again, UTCC, I didn't really enter into UTCC because I felt that there was not a lot of bullish sentiment in this company. Okay, it's kind of flat all the way downwards. And I decided to be a little bit more cautious, and my instincts as a swing trader told me that, this company is not having a lot of bullish sentiment into the company, and hence I did not take a trade on this as well. So last company for last week, right, was IMAB. So IMAB, right, okay, I actually took a trade on this one. So again, IMAB, I was, remember this chart, right, it was in a downward trend, and I said that it should be respecting this, that 100 moving average over there. And what happened was last week, okay, it dipped a little bit. I got a dip I wanted. I saw some kind of rebound over here, and I bought in at around $70 and I think 76 cents. Around that range, right? And I saw a massive dip afterward, right? But again, my stop loss is way below $69, around $68. So again, it managed to reclaim the moving average, and right now I'm at around a 4% profit, okay, 3 to 4% profit for IMAB. So that's it for last week's trade. That's what I did for last week. So you gotta adapt to different market conditions. Pick the best companies that you think that have the highest potential. Be a very picky guy. So those companies that are a little bit shady, sentiment's a little bit low, don't buy just because it's cheap. You want it to be an area of value, as well as you can see some confirmation of a bounce off a certain support level or a moving average before you decide to buy in. Because if it's just generally going down in stackage, right, then that means negative sentiment is still there. Even if it's an area of value, it's most likely gonna go past your area of value. So that's it for today's video, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed many for today's video. And do subscribe to the channel for more informational videos like this one. I really appreciate all of you guys. And again, let's make some money for next week. And I'll see you again in the next video. Stock stay out.